So much water there, I'm not even going to walk down that way. I'll come around. So this is the first infiltration pond. See, the water's doing what we hoped it to do. Coming fast down the hill, then slowing down in this puddle, soaking in before it overflows. Coming a bit faster down, hitting another small pond, slowing it down, soaking in, spreading out again, spreading the water, slowing it down, and then finally from the very top of the hill right to the top of our block, all the way down through the orchard, through the swales, through the small ponds up the back. Finally the water comes down here through this rock filtration drain. Clean, beautiful, fresh water. Look at that fresh water coming down there. Not any sediment, not any nothing. Just beautiful, fresh water filling up this large pond right at the bottom of the block. Making sure any water that misses the top of the block comes down to the bottom. Let's go for a walk and have a look up the top. Follow this water back from where it came from. Haven't seen rain like this. You can see all the rain, all the water from the hard surfaces from the house block. They're all running off. Everything's filtering in before running off. We're slowing it down. We'll slow this one down eventually. Let it soak in on the way down. And then we got the orchard up the back, all swaled. There'll be water in these swales, soaking in. Here we go. Here's the water puddling there. That'll soak in. Here's the level sill here. Hasn't quite overflowed yet. Soaking in. Filling up these infiltration ponds. You can see here the swale is pulling the water in. The swale is actually filling up the pond. See here, just there. You can see this, the water filling up the pond. That pond's about 4 inches, 5 inches from full. And then when that pond fills up, it'll backflow into the swale, and then that level sill will overflow. You can see how level that sill is because the water's sitting right level on that sill. When that pond over there is fill up, this level sill will flood that next swale. That swale will flood, and so on and so forth. You see the swale here, filling up that pond at that end. This pond, this one's already full. This infiltration pond is full to the brim, just as we'd hoped it would be. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a good amount of water, not far from the very top of our block, sitting in there. That is a nice bit of water. That's gonna really hydrate this orchard over the next few dry periods that we get if this rain doesn't keep up. The rear swale's nicely flooded. The first one that the block hits. This is just going to saturate the soil under there, and that secondary swale at the back there, we might even raise the other end of that a bit so it holds a bit more water. But these are all the little adjustments that you can make once you get the water here and you can see where the water's going and what it wants to do. But so far so good. So this is the top. to the block, and any water that runs off here ends up down in that bottom pond down there. And then anything on this side of the block, all through the bush here, is caught. Look, these trees haven't seen water for such a long time. The sapinin is washing out with the rain. Anything that's not caught on the orchard side is then caught in this large swale. Again, swale filling up first and then flooding the pond. A level sill there in the middle. It's quite a big swale, this one, so it'll take a little bit more rain than what we had then to fill it up, but it's going to soak in. It's going to flood that beautiful soil. And then, so this pond here, it hasn't filled up from this swale because this swale hasn't overflowed yet, so it's just filling up on the catchment that's coming in to it on its own, but still a beautiful amount of water there. Really good amount of water there, considering that swale hasn't fed that pond yet. Now we can see a bit of water running down here, so that just tells us that we've got to cut a little bit of that off and direct it down into here. We'll just put a small swale up there and that'll channel that water, that little bit of water into there. We'll go down the path here and go back to the lower pond. The rain's almost finished now. There's a drain there. Anything we miss from this little bit here goes under the drain, comes down here, and a lot of this water to the left of me that would have come down this drain would have actually fed into this pond down here, because this small swale here, drain slash swale, I'm pretty sure actually flows to the pond first, and that's the water in our pond. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful water. Haven't seen water like this for a long time. So glad to have the holes in the ground to keep it on the block.